Game Time Brian was. I didn't know it from earlier.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the mailman, on a dreary, rainy, much-needed rain Sunday. I'm doing this video. Seems like morning. It's kind of dark here. We needed the rain. It was a good day for the rain. I'm off tomorrow. Let's get the rain out of the way. My lawn's dying, people. It's dying. It's dying. It's turning brown. But we got some stuff to talk about. We definitely got some stuff to talk about. And I hope that you guys are ready to roll because we got you guys will probably see this. I'll upload it for later. I'll distribute this maybe this evening or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Or I'll put it up. Or I'll put it up for channel members. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But we sit here June 30th, and we are 24 days away from the start of training camp. They call this the dog days. The dog days. We have a lot of question marks. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We were on last night on Primetime Phil. We talked about a lot of the issues. Again, I am over debating, talking about, wondering, pontificating, whatever adjective you want to use regarding Dak Prescott and the Cowboys front office, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. A talented team, but really is dysfunctional in almost every way possible. But we're going to touch on a few things. We are getting close to training camp. And with that comes excitement for all 32 franchises. All 32 franchises are excited about what the prospects are, that lie ahead of them for their team to make it to the Super Bowl. In reality, there's probably 8 to 10 teams that have a legitimate chance to go to the Super Bowl. We're not going to identify them today, but there are teams at different levels of growth. There can be teams that surprise you and make the playoffs. I'm hearing a lot of chatter about the Washington Commanders. I will have Louis T. Network on, not this week, but the following week on my Wednesday live stream. We will get into it. I will ask him anything and everything regarding the Washington Commanders. And then we'll focus on our division rival. I'm hoping to get a roundtable before the start of the season. I just don't want any roundtable, so we'll see if I can pull that together. Stay tuned for that. If not, That's fine too. I want to have you know, there's some of the powerhouse voices for these franchises and a realistic outlook for their team, and we'll chop it up. But let's get right into it. I want to do some looking at some of the scary issues of the day. This one here is scary, people. Very, very scary. Jamarcus Russell faces lawsuit. Let me see if I can puff that up. It's already at 150. Faces lawsuit centering around allegations he took his high school donation money. If anybody doesn't know, Jamarcus was the number one draft pick in 2007 as a quarterback. He is a millionaire many times over. He was an assistant coach of a local high school team, and I'll read the article. He faces a lawsuit centered around allegations he took a large portion of the $74,000 check. I believe he took about $55,000 of that, intended to donation to his Alabama high school alma mater where he worked as a volunteer coach. Correct. I knew I heard the story right. Local business owner Chris Knowles issued a check to Russell as a donation to the Williamson High School football program on behalf of his building company. Russell cashed a check at Navigator Credit Union July of 2022. Basically, there you go. The lawsuit filed on behalf of the credit union in Mobile County, Alabama in March 2023 obtained the athletic. The Russell deposited a check around $55,000. And one time, a payment after payment on the check had been stopped. The withdrawal should have been resulted in Russell being overdrawn, but was paid by mistake. Yeah, big time. That place is in trouble. In March 2024, Russell filed a counterclaim against Knowles for false representation made in the subsequent stopping a paycheck. So basically, Jamarcus Russell filed a counterclaim against Knowles for false representation. Russell's attorney, Donald Brisman, did not respond to the Athletics' request for comment. Basically, he thought he was donating $75,000 to help the local high school and to put a gym or weight room, for their football team and their whole athletic department. And the number one pick overall in the 2007 draft decided to steal the money. Obviously, he's coming upon hard times, and you feel sorry for a guy like that, but not really, because if I was given 20, 30, 40 million dollars, I think I could make it last for my lifetime. These guys, you get this money, they think they are set for life, they blow it in any way possible, whether it's up their nose or gambling or buying 9,000 houses, 6 houses or 20 cars. It is fascinating because the NFL, time and time again, every year, before you can step foot on a football field, you're in a classroom being taught the do's and don'ts of being a rookie in the NFL and how to, proceed without losing all your said money. It's funny when you have money, everybody has their hand open. Everybody wants to be your buddy. Everybody has a problem. That's just the way the world works. When people know you have money, it attracts people. That's just how it is. You got long lost friends that from high school everybody has hard times, but that's why you'll hear stories of people who you go into the NBA and they just can't go back to their old friends anymore. Some can. It's very few and far between. Unfortunately, you can't hang with them same people anymore. It's just a different way of life. Everybody's going to have a handout. That's why it was said if I ever won the lottery, I would definitely not let people know that I won the lottery. I would just quietly take my money and slowly invest it and spend it, sell my house, go somewhere and start anew, most likely. But that's a very disheartening story. Jamarcus Russell, he has fallen. My, how the mighty has fallen. That's just one of a many stories I want to touch on. Just looking at some of the stuff here. Well, all right, we'll go to the next story that I want to touch on. The Sunday ticket case, okay? First things first, let's open this up. The Sunday ticket verdict could expedite the push for an 18-game football season. Why? Why, you ask? Well, for only one reason and one reason only. The NFL owners are greedy sumbitches. That's why. They are greedy people. Billionaires who want to keep that profit margin. They do not. They do not like having to pay up anything. It doesn't take a crystal ball to know the NFL wants to expand the regular season to 18 games. Now, for the record, for different reasons, I'm on board with that. I'm on board with expanding because I want 2 bye weeks. I want 18 games. That'll be better for the players. Give me an extra game, but give me another bye week. That'll help out with the overseas games. That'll help out with the Thursday games and the non-routine schedule that the NFL keeps throwing down the players' throats regarding money is what it ultimately comes down to. So I'm fine with that. I totally am fine with that, but not for their reasoning. It doesn't require psychic powers to know that the league needs to be ready to potentially write a check for $14.8 billion, despite prejudgment interest, post-judgment interest, and attorney fees after all are exhausted. So after the loss of, $4.7 billion, they're going to have to pay $14 billion with all the legal fees and everything that has gone into that. It will take roughly 3 years to get there, maybe 4 in the interim. Why not accelerate it? I'm all for accelerating the 18 games with the caveat of giving me an extra bye week. That's what needs to happen. I think if I'm the players union, I do not relent on that without getting, to me, it's an easy way to get another week out of the schedule. Extend that schedule. Let's go, baby. Let's get to the end of February. We want to shorten that week. Then you can roll into your combine, or your combine. Then you can roll into the draft, and then it shortens up everything. You know what I'm saying? So, although players won't have to pay any of the $14.8 billion, changes to Sunday ticket could impact revenue either by reducing the value of the package or impacting the payments received from the Sunday afternoon broadcasts. So I think it's a good deal. In my opinion. I mean, but for different reasons, obviously.
Chipotle's chicken.
Sorry, we're not here in Chipotle. One way to ensure that the rising tide lifts all boats is by adding games and windows. One extra game and one extra bye. I hadn't read this, but I'm all for this. Becomes 20 weekends of regular season football, as previously explained. The NFL would have to be willing to retake Labor Day weekend in order to have the Super Bowl land on President's Day weekend. I'm forward. I'm good just extending it longer. Whatever, man. With 18 games and new 5-night season kickoff extravaganza, the NFL could go to networks and redo the TV deals too. Well, they're going to do that. Then if the NFL eventually wins a Sunday ticket case in the Supreme Court, all that new money would be gravy. And then the salary cap would explode. Everything is delayed, and everything's going to be delayed as far as getting to the actual players. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. If the NFL makes the right moves while the Sunday ticket case moves forward, the hogs will keep doing the slaughtering. Exactly. Basically, the rich get richer, people. The rich get richer. All right, so that's that. Let's see what else we got here. I know there's another thing regarding Sunday ticket. Okay. In Sunday Ticket case, some owners might have a hard time coming up with $440 million. Now, I ask you, who the hell doesn't have $440 million if you're an NFL owner? It's like printing money. Probably the Cincinnati Bengals, teams like that who don't put any money into. This is why Jerry Jones has a problem with Mike Brown. Now, I don't know. I haven't read this, but I like doing these and learning it as I go while talking to you. It's kind of fun for me rather than reading the whole article. And I want to go where the article takes me. So let's see who it is. Let's see who they're talking about. When the NFL has to come up with $14.8 billion plus interest and fees in the Sunday Ticket litigation, each team will have to come up with roughly $440 million. For Dallas, that's nothing. That's literally a drop in a bucket. For many of the ultra rich, there aren't many coins in the piggy bank. There's a difference between paper value and liquid cash. And if 345 Park Avenue has to put out the bat signal for $440 per team, some owners will have a hard time coming up with it. We won't name names, Mike Brown, Cincinnati Bengals, because we don't have access to the information that would allow reliable estimations of the cash that each owner has on hand. For one team, we know the Packers, as a publicly held corporation, must produce an annual report. Last year, the team had $583 million in cash and investments. So, yeah, I could see the Packers because it's basically publicly owned by the town. You know, it might be hard to otherwise do business, and more than 75% of the cash and investments on hand have been handed over the league. The owners might not be nearly as liquid as the Packers. Other owners, yeah. It's supply and demand with cash of desperation. They say a third of the owners, again, we don't know the actual number, will need help with the 440. The simple path to 450 would be to borrow it. These owners would have to borrow the money, some of them. Now, we could speculate, right? We could speculate. We could speculate who those owners are, and let me see here. Briefly, I'll look at usually it coincides with a stadium deal or lack thereof. If I had to guess, I would say the Buffalo Bills would have a hard time. Probably the Miami Dolphins. I would say the Cincinnati Bengals definitely. That's three that come offhand. Jacksonville Jags, probably. That would be four. Probably the Los Angeles Chargers because of their stadium situation. That would be five. NFC East are all powerhouses. NFC North is powerhouses. Carolina Panthers? I don't know. They charge enough for friggin' tickets, so I don't know about that. But the Carolina Panthers, they're like the most expensive seat in town when it comes to going to a road Cowboys game. Looking at seats last year, there was upwards of $600 for the lower bowl. Give me a break for a team who's dreadful. They're getting better. All right. Probably, I don't know. I would imagine the Rams would be well off. So those are just a few of the teams that are struggling. Just some other quick, interesting notes. Dallas Cowboys bring in Nat King Cole's grandson. Yes, the Christmas song. Yes. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Oh, sorry. Nat King Cole's grandson. Let's look at this story. Nat King Cole's grandson brought in several UFL players for a workout, including defensive end Wyatt Ray, the grandson of music legend Nat King Cole, according to the Dallas Cowboys official website. I don't know that they've signed him. I don't believe it. Remember, they still have 2 spots on their 90. They need to fill out their roster for training camp. That's all this is, people. So the East Side Harrows of the world that are trolling, use your brain, bro. They have to fill out the roster, okay? If I'm going to fill out a roster, maybe give me somebody who's already played professional football, okay? Okay. Okay. Dallas Cowboys brought in several. Ray, 27, spent his UFL season with the San Antonio Brahmas for The Rock. The Rock. The Rock. I know I have The Rock somewhere. I know I have that. Yeah, I had The Rock somewhere.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Eddie side. Where he logged 5.5 sacks, which tied for 6th most in the league. Okay. Defensive end. Okay. Yeah, he was with the Broncos, Titans, Bengals. So, listen, he's a camp body. The Cowboys also worked out defensive end Jonathan Garvin, defensive end Derek Robertson, and running back John Lovett. I've heard of John Lovett. Also spent last season with the Brahmas, while Garvin and Robertson played for the Birmingham Stallions, DC Defenders, respectively. Cowboys have had an extremely uneventful offseason. Yeah, you're telling me. The most notable free agent signings have been linebacker Eric Kendricks and running back Zeke Elliott. I know. Hold the laughter. I know. I can hear it now. The laughter is ridiculous. Let's see here. Where is it? I know there's an applause meter. Yeah, here we go. Good job, Dallas. Hell of a job, Dallas. Great job. We did sign, obviously, a Garen Conley, What I want to touch on my 3:30 Zoom call, which is coming up shortly, is, you'll see this after that, but is the kickoff rules. So I got to look that up because I want to know exactly what's going on with that. But that's about it, people. For the most part, like I said, this is the dog days of the NFL. I could go through, I don't know. Let me see. Let's see if there's any other stories that you guys might be interested in. Let's see here. Darius Slay thinks Amari Cooper deserves to get paid. I guess he does. Lyle Collins feels ready to dominate with the Bills. Say, good luck, Lyle. I'll give you a lot of credit, but your career's just about over, bro. Not for nothing. All right, this is going to be my last story. I could go. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do 2 more. How's that? I already talked about Randall Cobb's family safe and healthy after escaping their house fire. Just shout out to them. We talked about the Dak case being dismissed, so that's cool. Let's go to this. Raiders coach Antonio Pierce subject to judgments over $28 million as wife files for bankruptcy. Yet another. He's a good motivator, but bad with the checkbook. Yes. Antonio Pierce, this is called a bank register, brother. You're supposed to write and keep track of all things money. Come on, bro. $28 million? What are you doing? It's sad. Jocelyn Pierce, the wife of Las Vegas Raiders coach Antonio Pierce, filed for bankruptcy so she could absolve herself from her debt, basically, while I drink my iced coffee. The schedule and statement of financial affairs requires in the filing a detailed disclosure of the family's financial status and history, including Antonio, 45, the subject to judgments that amount more than $28 million. I'm already have a membership. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with that now. But that's just sad, if you ask me. You know what I mean? That's just sad. Let me see if I can log in. I know I can. There we go. Boom. I'm in. There it is. Not to how what you guys see in my private info. But yes, according to documents obtained by The Athletic, Jocelyn stated that the lenders owed those judgments have attempted to justify the judgments from, the couple's assets. The motion goes to the state. All right, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corps holding a $23 million adjustment. Wow, these are all cars, it looks like. Nissan, Hyundai recently attempted to garnish Antonio's wages with the Raiders. Wow. Just another example. Just another example of the people living above their means. Again, what are we doing, Antonio? It's dumbfounding to me. It really is. It really is dumbfounding that these players continually put themselves in these type situations. The last thing I want to talk about is the New York Football Giants, who yet again I am high on this year. I'm not saying I haven't made my final decision on who. Probably will be the Eagles for my own selfish reasons that they're going to win the division. Because as of right now, I don't know about Dallas. I don't know what we have. I know we're good, but we have a hard schedule, and I don't know what the rookies are going to do quite yet. And I think that the Washington Commandos are extremely talented with a rookie quarterback with an incredible difficult schedule. They're not winning the division in my estimation. The Giants, their schedule is cake. When we get into the Giants' official record prediction in a few weeks, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. The New York Giants' schedule is easy. So, that being said, John Mara and the Giants finally agreed to appear on Hard Knocks. And how Hard Knocks works is that you can only dodge it for so long. And then they basically tell you, it's you know, you're up. It's your time. So we'll see. For the first time in franchise history, the New York Giants will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks. Starting 9 p.m. Tuesday, fans will get a behind-the-scenes access to the Giants with 5-episode series premiering of the newest iteration of NFL film show Hard Knocks, Offseason with the Giants. So now they're doing Offseason, which is kind of cool. We can't get enough of football, so let's add more, right? To any longtime Giants fan, the news might still come as a shock. Team president and co-owner John Mara, let's call it distaste of the program, is well known. He infamously told the New York Daily News in 2010 that Giants would appear on the show when I'm next to my father in the gates of the Heavens Cemetery. I like that. How do we identify the target of the 17-year-old kid who lives out in California who may never go to any of our YouTube channels and our social media accounts? The Giants Senior Vice President for Marketing and Brand Strategy. How do we get them to understand the history and impact that the organization has had in the NFL of the context over the last 100 years? Listen, the Giants are a revered, they're one of the originals, a great franchise. I'm proud to be in a division with the Giants. They haven't changed their name like a bunch of cowards, like the Washington team. It's ridiculous. The political pressures that come on over other teams. The Kansas City Chiefs. What's wrong with the Chief? Again, we can't run from our history, people. Washington will always be the Redskins to me. I hope one day they will return to the Washington Redskins. There's nothing racist about it. I think it was more of a political stunt. The Indians, from what I read, don't have too much problems with it. Again, the Commanders, if you're going to change it from the Redskins, you got to come up with something better than the Commandos, right? So whatever. It is what it is. That's for another day, but I can't wait to see the Giants on Hard Knocks. I enjoy the show. I love the way it's produced. Again, usually teams who appear on Hard Knocks don't usually end up doing well in the season, but I don't know that there's a direct correlation with it. Last year, Aaron Rodgers got, he tore his, Achilles. Is that because he was on Hard Knocks? No, it wasn't. So With that being said, I'm going to cut the video short. I hope you enjoyed just some of the stories that we talked about today. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to join. Yes, you can join and be a part of the Mailheads crew. You'll see the join button right by my channel name. If you do not see a join button, log out of YouTube, stay logged out. Type my name in the search bar. You should be able to see a join button. It allows for some perks. One of the perks is I do 2 Zoom calls a week, not one. I do 2 Zoom calls a week that all channel members can hop on and be a part of the show, which is going to be happening shortly. It would have already have happened by the time this is uploaded, that's for sure. I'm probably going to do this tonight. But yes, come be a part of the show along with some other perks. But yes, we do 2 channel Zoom calls. It's $4.99 a month. I think plus tax is like $5.20 a month. We do giveaways. So come be a part of the Mailheads crew. Other than that, Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman on a Sunday, dreary Sunday. We'll talk to you later. Bye.